The Olympians. They're called the Olympians because they have thrones on Mount Olympus. Mount Olympus is a very tall mountain on Greece, and in polytheistic societies where there are mountains, the gods live on top of mountains. And so it's like the Greeks looked around, where's the big mountain? There's a big mountain, Mount Olympus. Okay, that's where the gods are going to live. And the gods live on top of Mount Olympus. It's way up high. Do you remember that cake plate picture I put up for you? I'm just seeing a lot of black faces. But there's the idea of a cake plate. You know what I mean? There's the plate part that sits on the bottom, then the stem that comes up, and then the plate where the cake sits, and then the glass dome to keep the flies off the cake. Okay? And this is the heavens, and then there's the flat, round disk of earth, and then the underworld underneath. Olympus is so tall that if you dropped something off the top of Mount Olympus, it would take 9 days for it to fall all the way to the bottom of the underworld. We'll get to one god who's thrown off of Mount Olympus and it takes him a whole day before it hits the ground. How about that? Talk about a skydiving adventure. I don't want to skydive now. When I was a kid, I really wanted to skydive. And I was like, man, that's great. That's going to be awesome. And me and my friends, Brett Van Manen and John Edwards and Eric Falkenberry and Dennis Kimball and John Ashley, we got our money together. We were juniors in high school, and we were going to go find out how we can go skydiving. It was like going to cost us a lot of money. We were like, oh man, this is going to be so cool. And it was like, what do you got to do? Oh, you got to go here. You got to take this training and do all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's going to be so cool. How long are we going to be in the air? 25 seconds. Seems like okay, I'll just save that little fantasy for in case the plane I'm in starts to crash. then I'll do it. But all of that for 25 seconds, we very quickly lost interest. In other words, okay. But a day-long free fall, now that would be cool. That would be cool. It wasn't cool for the guy who got thrown off because he hurt his legs and could never walk again. But anyway, the 12 Olympians. You'll see why I give you a question mark there for the 12 Olympians. 12s. Humans kind of like 12s. 12 and a dozen, right? We find 12s all over the place. 12 disciples, there are 12 apostles, 12 tribes of Israel, and the 12 Olympian gods. I only found this out recently when I was doing some work in medieval Europe, that 12 was popular because that's as high as you can count on one hand while you do something with the other hand. And I had that look too when I first thought about it. If you use your thumbs just to your knuckles, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And as you're counting things out with your left hand, I can't really do it because I'm not used to it, but if you're used to doing it, you can just go and you know, oh, I need 3 more. Keep track like that. I don't know if that's why people all over the world like 12s, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. The 12 Olympians. I posted a list on Canvas for you of the 12 Olympians. And it looks like this. Now don't copy this down. I put it up on Canvas for you, okay? Don't sit there and start getting whatever that carpal tunnel syndrome, trying to copy that over. It's all a Word document you can print it out and have it there. Some of you already knew. Some of you have already counted. There's 13 names on the list. It's because there are 13 Olympians in the 12 Olympians. We'll talk about why that's the case later. It's just different people came up with different lists at different times and different purposes and all kinds of stuff. Don't worry about so much these 13 gods. Yes, I want you to learn everything on this list. In the first column, you have the Greek names. Second column, you have the Roman names. The third column, you have the responsibilities of the gods. I just gave you time to scan down through. In the fourth column, I only gave you one symbol for each of the gods. Some of them have, all of them have much more responsibilities than I've given you, but just one symbol for you to learn. Here's my...
Why doesn't Apollo and Hestia have symbols? Because
I figured I'd be nice to you. Yeah. I couldn't be meaner. I decided to be nice. We'll be coming back to this list every once in a while. But the way I see it, if you take a college level course in Greek mythology, you should know what the names of the 13 Olympians are. You should know what their Roman names are. You should know what they do. And you should recognize their symbols when you see them in a painting or on a vase or something like that.
Why don't Hades?
I'm sorry?
Why don't Hades?
Yeah, Hades lives in the underworld. He doesn't live on Mount Olympus. We'll catch up with him. So you have the Greek name there, the Roman name, the responsibility, the symbol. I had in my humanities class, the first day of class, I kind of got on a soapbox about how recently I've had a lot of students, recently graduated from high school, come to me before the first exam and say they don't know where the answers are. I didn't give them the answers. It took me a while to figure out what was going on, and then I wasn't very happy when I found out what was going on. Well, here I am, big hypocrite me, these are the answers. If you know this chart, you'll know not everything, but an awful lot of questions on the first exam. Can you see how some of these questions, can you imagine what some of these questions might be? What's the Roman name of Demeter? What is the symbol for Ares? You with me? Can I state it any more clearly? Now, this isn't everything, but I do expect you to know this. And because learning is supposed to last for a long time, once you've learned this, then it's fair game for the rest of the semester. This is not the last minute before the exam kind of thing. Okay? Not like that. Because then you never learn it. I got through a year of German reading course in graduate school doing that. Go into class and just kind of, and the night before the test, go home, learn German. Come to class, take the exam, go home. Come back to class. Right before the exam, go home. Learn German. I don't know any German at all because I didn't learn it. Okay. How do you learn something? I won't do what I did in humanities class today because that blew apart. How do you learn something? By going over and over it. That's how you learn something. That's how you learn something. Don't tell me you don't like to do it because you know all kinds of stuff by me. Why? Because you keep going over and 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 over. Okay? If you can name all the Kardashian sisters, you can name all the Olympian gods. So don't tell me you don't like learning stuff. So, I've done it plenty of times myself. Okay, enough said about that.